let him go. That was
Hi,
insane. It's nice to meet you. We're all huge fans.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Even if it's a lie, it makes me feel good.
It's not a lie. I did my checking.
Oh, well,
You've got
thank
good,
you.
warm energy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Halloween is coming up. Were you one of
Yes.
those kids, you have like a memorable Halloween?
I have memorable Halloweens. I remember when I lived in Massachusetts, in Amherst, Massachusetts, in those years, like between like 7, 8, 9, the really good Halloween years. We used to run from house to house and then steal each other's candy. And,
Yeah.
and that I
Trade.
remember that. That was ideal.
Well, speaking of costumes, Kill Bill turned 20 last year.
Yep.
So did you get to keep that jacket? Did you get to keep any of that? It's such an iconic costume.
You will still see that girl at Halloween this year.
Yes, you will. I know. Did you get to keep anything?
I have my costumes, yeah. I do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have my sword and I have my costume.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So there's a story behind the outfit, right? Was it once a onesie?
It was a Bruce Lee onesie.
Okay.
And he looked pretty awesome in it.
Yes.
I had just had a baby and I was like literally...
That's rude.
No, it worked really, really, really hard.
No, I'm just saying, I didn't look like that after having a baby.
That was 6 months of training 5 days a week from 9 to 5.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I tend to really like food and not be able to stop
Girl,
eating
me
it when
too.
I'm pregnant.
Or I don't even have to be pregnant. I just love it.
You know, in general, but in pregnancy, it's especially like a thing. You know, and like,
I should eat it all.
I remember my mother telling me, like, you know, only about 10 pounds of that is the baby. The rest is still going to be with you. Enjoy your Sunday.
Oh my
I was like, oh.
And then
way too
emotionally,
late at
you
that
take
point.
it on. Oh my God, I love your mom.
Oh yeah, she tells it like it is.
That is my mother.
She just doesn't kid around.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy your Sunday.
Don't worry, you'll fit into that shirt one day. And I was like, well, I wasn't worried about it until
you
now.
mentioned it.
Yes, they're hilarious. You just saw Batman and Robin co-star Arnold
did.
Schwarzenegger.
We ran into each other by accident. It was a total joy.
Yeah, by accident. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because that was years ago.
Yeah.
Where did the... By the way, I'm bringing this up because my kids are obsessed with that Batman and Robin. They love Poison Ivy.
It's the one that was actually made for children.
Oh, well, my kids love it. And they love the kissing and the fact that you're poison and you kill people. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that foreshadowing is, but they love it. So what was that like? What was that costume like?
That costume was really difficult, actually, because it was all rubber.
Yeah.
And you have to, like, pull it on. Like, imagine, like the worst pair of, like, airplane tension hose you ever got into in your life.
Or, like, the worst Spanx.
It was the original, it was the meanest sort of spank imaginable. But it was fun and creative.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got
my
to
God.
put big, weird horns on my head.
I've seen that movie. I have no idea how many times because of my children. So
She's
thank
probably
you.
going to be at Halloween, too.
Yeah. Well, if you're rocking that body, congratulations. Let's get to some commercials. And if you're not, kudos. Lauren and our audience can take us there.
Hi, Kelly and Uma. A lot of people have told me that I kind of look like Uma, which I take as a huge compliment. Not just because she's gorgeous, but because she plays complex, iconic women in film, and it's incredible to watch. More with Kelly and Uma after the break.
We are back with Uma Thurman. Y'all give it up. We are at kind of a crossroads with our country right now when it comes to a woman's right to choose. Uma published a very personal op-ed in the Washington Post a few years back on this topic. We were just talking about it right before in the commercial break. What are your feelings today about it?
Well, my feelings today are the same, although I'm I'm grieved. Back at that time, I was reacting to the Texas law, which I saw as a harbinger of what was going to come, and sort of I felt like every person needed to do anything they could do to bring awareness, to hopefully help protect women's lives.
Yeah.
And their rights. And you know, here we are, and we are now seeing women dying in America because they are denied life-saving care due to government policies impacting doctors.
Yeah.
And preventing them from getting care. And, you know, creating situations. Amber Thurman, what an irony. My name, my last name, made the same choices I had to for her own reasons at some point in my life. And she's not alive anymore. And she has a son that will be raised without a mother. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's something I hope people take very seriously, and I know they do.
For me, I was very open about this, and have been open about this. I had the worst pregnancies ever, hospitalized for both, literally death's doorstep for one of them. Like, it was the worst experience of my life. I love my children. But I would never, ever make someone do that. Like, it was not a great experience for me. My body was not prepared. It wasn't prepared the second time. And it's just one of those things for me, as a woman, with a uterus and capable, or some are capable, some are not, it should be your decision. I just don't understand. I don't understand. If you care so much, why don't you care afterwards? Why don't you care when they're born and then nobody's helping them?
Yeah, why is there such reluctance to invest in child care support? Why is there such reluctance to, you know, and it's like, guys, can we just work on the kids we have in our community and families that
that's
we
what I'm
have
saying.
in our community?
There are so many.
And can we support and make sure every single child has what they need? But we have to work from where we are. And we will stick together and bond together and work from where we are. And, you know, I can respect other people's opinions, and I think they have the right to have those in their own families. I don't think they should make it government policy.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, your organization, Room to Grow, supports young mothers. So what is your favorite thing about the organization? What kind of hits you?
I love children, and I also love fairness and equality, and I want to see every child and every parent have every opportunity to give their child the best start in life they can, and to see anyone sort of hampered or held back by things that are of no fault of their own. You know, you can't leave a hospital without a car seat. Well, a car seat, a good one, costs what, $200?
Yeah. Like,
where are you going to get that? You know, like, people, you need help. You make your child safe to enrich their lives. And it also was very important to me, you know, I've always loved pitching in on many things that people do around the world, like to try to do some good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm obviously just like a silly artist, but...
Not a silly artist, but very powerful spotlight.
Well, this organization is focused on American families, on the families that have their struggles in our community. So you're helping people in your own community, and I've often seen us turn away from our own community too much, and this was very important to me to make that my focus.
I love that you said community, because it's so funny to me, because, you know, people without children would be like, well, I don't really care. Why am I putting money towards that, or why am I? And I'm like, because those are the people that are part of your entire community and society. That's all going to domino effect. It's going to affect you if they have great education or not. It's going to affect every bit of your life.
Well, it's very true. I mean, to throw out some simple things like, you know, there are 2 million babies, toddlers in America right now growing up below the poverty line. 2 million.
And they didn't do that. They were just born.
They did not do that.
Exactly.
And their families are going to do their best.
Yeah.
And they certainly will. And they probably will do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But they deserve support and attention. So, you know, we have to pay attention. We're not on an island here. We're in a community.
That's what I mean. It's going to affect you at some point. So you might want to jump in there. Yeah. So how has Room to Grow inspired your kids to give back as well?
Well, they've all made different contributions. And it was sort of wonderful to, like, have your kid go into the room and, like, collect, like, which books do you think that you did? What did you like when you were 3? And, like, you know, pull them off the shelf and let's bring them in and put their clothes in, you know, a bag and to give away. And I think that just sort of filters down.
Yeah.
And my eldest has already sort of been like really volunteered her help and joined for some of our fundraisers and been really helpful.
That's a proud moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have to take a quick break. We're going to meet some women behind Uma's organization, Room to Grow, when we get back. Before the break, we were talking about Room to Grow, a nonprofit Uma's been involved with for over 2 decades. This incredible organization helps parents with young children, especially during their early development. Joining us now are the CEO of Room to Grow, Akilah King, great name, along with Nancy Twine, also an awesome name, who sits on the board. Give it up for him, y'all. Welcome to the show. So explain to us a little more about what Room to Grow is about.
Yeah, absolutely. Room to Grow is a program in New York and Boston currently, and Uma touched upon this. We equip families with critical resources during their child's first 3 years of life. And families enroll in our program the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, and since then come to our family centers, which are just beautifully designed. They're warm and welcoming for these visits with a program team member. And during these visits, we offer 3 critical types of support. The first is personalized guidance, and this is really to support the well-being of the entire family. We're checking in on the kiddos, making sure that we're brainstorming strategies to bolster their child's development. And then we're also making community connections, so families expand their network of support. And last but not least, families go home with essential resources, material items for their toddlers and their kiddos, books, toys, clothing, equipment, bedding, you name it.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's just incredible what y'all do. Nancy, you're an entrepreneur. How did you get involved with Room to Grow?
Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a builder. I build companies. I run a company called Briogeo Hair Care. And, you know, it was really interesting. During the pandemic, it was such a time of self-reflection. And I do a lot of manifestations and vision boarding. And I really wanted to find an organization that I could really connect with, but that was rooted in impact. And this is a totally true story. So the year is 2021. I'm on Instagram. And I get a DM from this woman right here.
Did you believe it was real?
No.
I would have been like, okay.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And she said, you know, I just listened to your How I Built This podcast, and I think what you've done is fascinating. And we have a board position, and we'd love to consider you for it. And I said, well, let me make sure that this is really Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
So we set up a Zoom call, and we ended up talking for over an hour. And it was so incredible learning about the impact of the organization. You know, they donate over 125,000 goods to babies and toddlers every single year, and also give over 4,000 hours of counseling, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, I'm always rooted in the results and the data. It's not just about having a goal, it's like making it happen. And 90% of the parents that go through this program say that it reduces their stress and helps them achieve their parenting goals, which is amazing, 90%.
Just helpful for all of those communities that they're a part of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's incredible. So Uma, the organization also they give books to families, which my mother will love. Yeah, so how does that work?
I mean, we actually give the children come in every quarter, and they get developmentally appropriate books. And I think introducing, as it's proven at every single level, early literacy, it's invaluable, and it gives the child the ability to be at the same place of their other peers when they enter kindergarten.
Yeah, reading at home, super important. So Nancy, tell us about the long-term impact that this has.
Yeah, and that's the incredible thing. You know, again, this organization really focuses on years 0 to 3, but if you get that right, you can have multi-generational impact. And we actually have 2 incredible success stories in the audience, Liz and Marilee, who are both graduates of the program. Liz was actually... So Liz actually went through the program as a child and ended up graduating college a semester early. Yeah. And then she went on to work at Room to Grow. And now she's like me. She's an entrepreneur. She has an incredible travel business, which is amazing. And then Marilee was a parent in the program. And now she actually works for Room to Grow in the boutique. So actually helping the families identify the types of goods that they need. So when you think about this multi-generational impact, it really has an incredible ripple effect. And that's what I love so much about the organization.
Absolutely. You see the impact. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. And you say, Akilah, that it's not just for the kids. What do the parents also tell you?
Yeah, so parenting is challenging, as you know very well.
Yeah.
And for many communities, it's just exacerbated by lack of access to quality resources and services. So everything from childcare to housing, healthcare, and what we hear time and time again is it's just stressful. And I don't know if you had a chance to see what the Surgeon General just put out, but parenting is impacting parents' mental health. And so at Room to Grow, what we try to do is just be a friend, a partner, someone that our parents can talk to be a guide. By taking care of the parents, we're really hoping that it results in strong, positive outcomes for the whole family.
It definitely will. You impact one person in a family unit, that's going to have a ripple effect to the others in that unit. You know, just as much as a person walks in with bad energy in the room and you're like, oh my God, like you just sucked all of the oxygen from the room. You know what I'm saying? It can happen in a positive way as well. Akilah, Room to Grow is having an event very soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, our annual gala, which our fabulous co-chair here, Nancy Twine, is one of them. So it's an opportunity for all of us to come together as a community to celebrate the accomplishments and the achievements of our families in our program and just our hard work. And it's a really special night.
It is. Room to Grow helps parents of young children with things like diapers and toys, along with support and education. Parents like Ashanti. Her son is part of Room to Grow, and she joins us today. Give it up for Ashanti. So, you started with Room to Grow before your son was born, right?
Yes, I heard about it while I was pregnant with my third son, Cairo. I have 4 children, so Room to Grow has helped me so much with the diapers, the toys, the books.
It's all so expensive. Yeah. Yeah.
It adds up with
Yeah.
3 children, and then 1 more, so.
Yeah. Akilah, has there been a family or mom or situations that's really like impacted you?
Yeah, I would say my dad. He started his career as an elementary school teacher and then stepped away for a bit, did some other things. And when I was born, my mom had a very demanding job. He was the one who was staying home with me, and he knew the importance, yes. Oh yeah, that's us. Going on an adventure
This is what it looks
somewhere.
like when a father raises the children. Yeah, she drove today. It was fine.
Is that a real map? I don't know. But yeah, he knew the importance of play and reading to me and just attachment. And when my sister was born, he went back and got his master's in early childhood and was a kindergarten teacher for 25 years.
Ah, what an amazing dad. Ah, that's really beautiful. Akilah, you have bigger plans for Room to Grow. So what do you want to see happen?
Yes, we have a very exciting announcement, the first time we're sharing this publicly, but Room to Grow is expanding to Chicago. Yeah. There's just a tremendous amount of need. 17% is the poverty rate in Chicago, which is above the national average. And there's just a fantastic network of organizations that Room to Grow can partner with to provide just a whole suite of services for families with young children. So we're incredibly excited, and we look forward to opening doors in late 2025.
Oh, man, congratulations. So, Ashanti, the program helped Cairo, but it made a difference in your life as well, right?
Oh, yes. Right now, I do social work, community advocacy. I work with United for Brownsville, and Room to Grow has actually helped me with my work in advocacy and community advocacy and talking with parents who have been through some of the same things that I've been through when I was coming up with my children.
Absolutely. And who better to speak on that? You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like people will try and get involved in something, like, you don't know what it's like. It would make much more an impact from someone like you to be talking to someone that you've been there before, and you're kind of a light at the end of the tunnel, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing to connect with people, I assume, like that, right?
Definitely.
For me, it is.
Definitely. In birth work, that's what you need. You need someone to connect to know and feel like what you've been through. And that's what Room to Grow has helped me do. And I want to thank you guys so much. You know, you've helped me and my family just by the resources, and we appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
I want to also bring out Cairo. It's backstage, right?
Yeah.
Come on out, Cairo! You are so cool! Oh my gosh! Hi! Hi! Do you give high fives? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Come on over. Oh my gosh! So, Cairo, I have one question. So, I hear that you love reading. Is that true? Yeah, you like reading with Mama?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, look, there are a lot of you. There's only one of me. I don't know what to do right now. Yes. Well, you are adorable. We're happy you're here and you joined us. But we also want to say, Akilah, our friends at Scholastic know firsthand how important it is for kids and families to have access to resources starting at birth, especially books, which have the power to build bonds and change lives and spark imagination. That's why they are donating $5,000 worth of books and also $5,000 in cash to Room to Grow just to help out.